All right, my good people. A wild week. Um, Very wild week. Hopefully we made some money. Back again. My favorite. I don't even care about the weekends anymore, man. I just can't wait to get back uh to market out open. So anyway, um, hopefully we made some money. Hopefully passed some accounts, got some payouts, funded some personals. But let's get into it. Should be a good week, another good week. Should finally have some movement going on. But as always, we start with the bonds. And nothing's changed. We've had 3 straight weeks of just straight sell-off, and I expect us to continue a little bit more. Um, my actual next target. Let me turn this on. My next target would be this area for the bonds, where you have this low resistance right here. So there, and let's line that up. We actually have a little divergence here, right there. Yeah, but um, yeah, the T-bond, the 30 year is very weak. Um, So let's get into Dixie. The war, everything's going on. So we saw this level hit, and this is what I expected. Um, and we saw a little rejection. I don't know how far we move off of this rejection. Um, oh, I have to have this on the. This is our multi. This is our lower time frame. Let me go back to the higher time frame, actually. Okay, there we go. So let's just on a monthly level, after we took the 2025 low and we just started moving to the upside, I do expect us to continue up into this range. And as you can see, I'll leave it on my chart. This is just what I expect on a monthly level. Um, but on a weekly level, I expect the manipulation back up into this range. What I would like to see though on a shorter term, we've built up all this liquidity here. I would like to see it come test this here. We do have a weekly gap to fill in, and there's a volume imbalance here. Oh, sorry guys, there's a volume imbalance here. Um, but on this, if we do come test this weekly gap, I will be looking from longs from here. So I'm short Dixie to this area. We have this liquidity to run out. And then if we get some type of movement here, if we can bounce this week, I would prefer to see a long from here. I don't want to be really be longing anywhere until we take out some liquidity. So this is our next point of liquidity here. And for euro, it's just literally the inverse. I would like to see us reach it into this level, the 117,420 level. Um, And I would like to see us fill in some of these, maybe this weekly imbalance. Let me look. I didn't put it on here. Uh, yeah, that lines up pretty well. Oops. So, um, fill in this weekly gap, and then we sell off from there. I would like to just see us build, literally just build liquidity. Come down here, maybe to start the week, build it up, fake it off, run, run it out. Ideally. So to start the week, I'll probably be a little bearish, and then maybe once we get some action here, move up here to this weekly gap, and then continue to sell off. Um, Pound seems to be a little bit stronger at the moment, but it's just been in this range, so I'm not really interested in GU right now. Um, but I will be interested in sales later in the week as well. But I might actually be looking to buy GU at the beginning of the week. So I'll be looking to be buying the pound. And let's see what we have. The Bank of England also was discussing rate hikes. which the pound could be bullish short term in anticipation of that. Um, and they said, I believe it was three rate hikes this year. So that would be bullish news for the dollar. I mean, I'm sorry, for the pound. But I would look like to see some movement up here, up into this area. But I wouldn't be short the pound until we got to this area. Um, so from there, um, this New Zealand dollar, I'm really bearish on the New Zealand dollar. And this range we've created is actually just a beautiful range. A beautiful range. Now, do we take out the high of this range? I don't know. But after we take out the short-term high, I will be looking for New Zealand dollar shorts. Again, I want to see liquidity built up here, liquidity built up here. And after we take out 58,913, I'm actually just going to mark this out here. Let's just make that green. I would like to I would like to see some shorts, which actually, well, it's previous week high. And it gives us a little into this range, right? Into this weekly wick. So let's just get a 50 lines. So 50% of this wick, on the lower time frame, that would line up with your, well, this actually could be your order block or whatever. Lines up really with the 50% of that wick. So, um, that's going to be one of my top plays this week is the New Zealand dollar short. So CAD is a little interesting this week because in times of war, when you see oil skyrocketing, inflation's up, the dollar's up, CAD's up, JPY's down, and typically gold is up, but not always in war is gold up. Um, Usually you see a lot of people putting their money and risk off and things like gold and silver, but it's been dropping, and we'll get into that a little bit. I'm gonna try to make this video a little quicker than normal, but I am slightly bullish with not even really slightly. I'm bullish USD CAD because I expect the dollar to kind of take off this week. And if you look at the close that we had this week, how I mean, we literally just obliterated last week's low and just took off. And this was like a 1 day move because I was expecting us to drop and and move up, but yeah, it was just I actually had to close my shorts just because it was just lagging. It was just lagging all week, all the way till Thursday. Then we finally get the drop on Thursday and then move up. But anyway, so what I would like to see, I would like to see a slight move up, maybe take the equal highs. Um, so maybe we bounce off of here, take the equal highs, run down, and then we just take off. And again, from here, same thing with the dollar, with Dixie. I'm long from here. Um, I'm hoping I actually get this move down here because this would be one I would like to swing. Um, and I would like to move it back into even if we get back into this range, the daily range here, or even above the daily range, and we could test these equal highs. Who knows how far, but I would like to swing it for at least a couple of days. So USD Chef is another interesting one. Um, and I'm bullish on this as well. So we have this volume imbalance on the weekly. We swept previous week high. Oh my goodness. We swept previous week high and we closed back inside. Um, a nice closer inside. However, we do have this liquidity here to run. So the shorts at the beginning of the week uh, will be prevalent, and I would like to see us bounce from here, this area. So anywhere above 77, 475, and even if we take this low, I'm fine with that. We have a couple of imbalances we could fill in here, and I would be looking long from here. Um, I, I wouldn't want to see I wouldn't want to see it taken that low taken, but I would like to be long from here. And we have several targets. I mean, my first target would be here. And then again, we have these equal highs, all this liquidity resting there, and just a whole trend line of liquidity to target. But this is a major play for me this week as well. I would definitely like to see us hit that. Let's actually go to Bitcoin first because Bitcoin and Ethereum are very interesting. Um, so we broke structure, ran out all this liquidity here, sold off, chopped around. Now, I thought maybe we could get a pullback up here. I'm not too confident in that anymore. After we hit this gap and we sold off, um, after we hit that gap and sold off, where are we at? Let me put this on the daily so I can see it also. Okay, yeah. Um, we, I'm a little torn because I would rather see this high taken. I would rather see this. I would rather see this, maybe something like this high taken, this, that, right? Might not get that. What we might see is exactly what we saw on the weekly on this time frame. We might leave this gap, which is a daily gap, open as a breakaway, and what we might end up doing is hitting this gap and then selling off to the targets. Um, So I'm actually, when we come into this gap, I'm going this 4 hour. I'm going to be looking for a sell. I'm going to ignore this as a breakaway. Um, the fractal nature, same thing on the weekly. I'm going to ignore this as a breakaway. And what'll happen is if we fail to take the low and we get a shift. So if we come down here, if we come in here, I'm sorry, I'm going to short here. And if we come down here and we fail to take the low and we shift, I, I'll then exit my trade because I'll anticipate that we will hit this gap, and then I'll be short again from here to take out those lows. So it's just we've been in such a consolidation for the since what the beginning of February. Um, I don't want to hold any sustainable positions on Bitcoin, but we do have several targets, and we could take target one and then move up, take target two, then move up, create the failure swings, and just continue to create liquidity to be able to be ran at a later date. Same thing for Ethereum, really. Um, Ethereum does have this weekly gap up here, and that's the only thing that makes me think that maybe Bitcoin will hit that daily gap. Um, so I'll keep my eyes open on it, but we do have a bunch of, like I said, this trend line liquidity or low resistance, whatever you want to call it. And then we move up and we could sell off. Um, let's see. For indices, indices is just it. This is a double S price action, right? It's horrible. But with all that being said, I'm short. I'm short all indices. The sell off is on. Um, we have plenty of room to move back down into the range. So y- I don't have a higher time frame analysis on this too much. But intraday, we're creating, we're just literally creating liquidity to be ran at a later date. But right now, it's just respecting the trend line, right? It's respecting the higher highs and then the lower highs, right? And then we're just creating the lower lows. Um, but this is not ideal right here. This right here, none of this is ideal, right? YM has been moving fairly nicely. And ES a little bit better too, but NQ is just yeah, I don't know. It's just crap in the bed. I am short though, so I do expect to pull a pullback to start the week, and maybe we get some divergence, some type of movement, and then we start to sell off again. I don't have targets or anything as of now. You on a lower time frame, as you can see, like right here, you have your trend line right here, so that gets maybe that gets ran out, um, you know, and as of now, you have a little bit of did that take the no? Okay. Um, maybe we start the week, we sell off a little bit, create a little divergence. We come up, we take this little liquidity here. Man, this mouse does not want to play right today. All right, we take that out, and then we look to continue to sell off. Can't even talk. Uh, so we look to do that. And that coincides with what high right here. Okay, let me just leave this on my chart. All right. So, um, and this could be a point about divergence as well, right? We could come up here. YM could take this, or even this high. YM could take this out. We leave this here, and then now, um, NQ is a weaker pair. So, let's go with let's go with gold. All right, so the sell-off is all on gold. This sell-off is on. Now everybody was thinking, all right, war. We're gonna buy gold. They priced it in, they sold it off. But the real problem it isn't actual gold and silver that's selling off, right? So obviously, you have your spot gold and your spot silver, right? And those contracts are what's dropping. And when you have the stocks and the bond market dropping, um, everything is bought on debt, right? So when it rises, everybody wins, right? They borrow more money and they trade it, and they just the money's overflowing. But what happens is when they bought all that gold, right, on borrowed money, and now they're being forced to cover, right? And everybody's holding negative positions. Any covering is causing further decline. So when they're selling their position, well, yeah, when they're selling their positions back, right? We're just what's happening is it's just continuing to drop, and that's what we're seeing. And I don't expect any different for a while for gold. I expect it to continue to decline, and just short term, my first target is here. So this move is over. This leg is over. So don't chase it. Wait until it takes this low on and this is a spot right here, so 4402. Um, until it takes this low, I should be looking at the futures one, but whatever. And after here, let it do its dance, right? And then once it comes back into range, you could buy it back into the range, but here is where I'm looking for a continued sell-off, and not before. But I do expect it to sell off. And as you can see, there's no telling where we stop. There's no telling. So as of now, um, yeah, you could play the counter trend back into the range. Just be careful. Just be careful. Same thing with silver. Um, with silver, oh man, I just feel like silver's gonna crash crazy. Back to silver could go back to $30 an ounce. But yeah, same thing. It play the lows, counter trend back into the range, sell off, right? Um, oil, oil's crazy. I had this as a target, and it basically did that in one 15-minute candle. So, but right now, I've continued bullishness on oil. What I would like to see though, I would like to see maybe a little sell off here. We have a slight volume imbalance here, but from here, I am long. Uh, I am long here, and I'm long. I'm basically long through the highs. Um, so if you can catch it, if you can hold it, if you're on spot, if you're on CFDs and you can swing it, do it. Do it. I would gladly take I would gladly take two or three losses on oil to be able to catch the bottom of this move. Um, because when I catch the bottom of the move, I'm going to hold it for the next 2 weeks. Because I don't think we return without taking the high first. So that's really just the analysis on silver. I'm sorry, on oil. Let's see what else we have. What else we have? So my plays for the week, right? Let's just because that was the rundown. That's the rundown pretty much on everything. I didn't go over Nvidia, but um, this weekly close on Nvidia, I expect we have these equal lows. So listen, if you're selling your puts, guys, just wait, let it give it a little push. But this is obviously everybody knows that's my favorite thing to see on the weekly. So once this happens, I think we get a move back into the range. Um, I think, oops, sorry, cancel. Whoa. I think we get a move back into the range, and then I think we sell off. So once that happens, um, yeah, there's no telling how far we get, but it's actually a really nice chart to look at right now. With that video, we had the same thing on the weekly. What the beginning at the end of February. Next week we sold off, came back, did the same thing. Um, Now I don't want to see 2 weeks of build up on this one. I would prefer just a stab and then a drop. So because we're so close to the range, I don't even foresee um, a big pullback back into the range. I think maybe we something to this effect here, to where the weekly open was, and then a sell off from the weekly open. So I'm gonna actually put this on my chart, the previous weekly open, and this will let me know when it starts selling off on all right, Lord, I don't know what's going on. All right, let's go. Let me put let's do this. Previous weekly open, center, middle. Let's put on the right. All right, all right. Let's put an alert on there so that all right. So yeah, I expect to find something in this range, maybe filling in a balance right here. Looks like it was kind of filled in already, so we might just, like I said, touch and go. So, um, so from there, let's see. So my plays for the week, right? This is what I have. Oh my goodness. Okay, here we are. I was like, where did I put it? Um, so to start the week, I do expect a retracement, a pullback on Dixie. But the bullish momentum is beginning. Um, and Aussie, I'm still strong on that. I expect CAD to jump Aussie by the end of the week and then going into next week. So I think CAD will be our second strongest pair. But for right now, Aussie still my strongest, my second strongest, and then CAD, New Zealand, Euro, Pound, Chef, JPY. Um, so these are all the shorts that I'm looking at. I don't know why I have this twice. And these are my longs that I'm looking at. So for the crosses, NZD CAD and Euro Aussie are uh, two of the top plays. So is Aussie Chef and CAD CHF. And anything against the JPY, still we're long this week as well. So let's just take a look real quick at USD JPY. Do I have it here? No, I don't. All right. So what I would like to see is I would like to see a failure swing put in here. I would like to see a failure. Oops. I'd like to see a failure swing put in here, or we can take the high. But if we do take the high, I would like to see the low taken as well, right? I would like to see the low taken either regardless, and then the continued move to the upside. So again, we have a weekly fair value gap here, or this isn't even a fair value gap. This is just an imbalance, right? So I would like to see that possibly hit. Um, so even if we, like I said, if we don't take the low, that's fine. But I would like to see some movement from this gap here. Um, let's see. I said CAD JPY, I believe. I think right. And this is kind of in the same realm. I would like to see this. I would like to see this gap touched. Right. We came up here, failed to take a high with here, bounced off this trend line or created more low resistance to run out later. Still have this failure swing up here. I would like to see this ran out and then up here we're bullish from here. And Euro GBP right now with this close on the weekly, um, I expect Euro uh, to be stronger. Now, what do we do when we get to this gap? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe we respect the gap, maybe we don't, but we'll see. Um, we did tap into it last week, barely. Let's see, maybe to start the week, we push off and we continue up into the range. So maybe we have euro a little bit stronger than pound for a little while, or maybe we dump from here. Um, so that's gonna be something to see. I'm leaning towards us respecting this gap and euro still being uh, weaker than pound, just because of fundamental stuff. Um, but again, it's something you just have to watch and see. So right now, it's kind of 50-50. This close on the week though is crazy. It's literally we chopped the entire week and then we just blasted off with euro to end the week. So we'll see. And for Aussie New Zealand, if we're just looking at where are we? I don't even have it on here. But I have Aussie stronger than New Zealand. So if we go back to it, what else did I want to show you? I wanted to show you Euro Aussie and NZD CAD. Yes, Euro Aussie. Let's go to NZD CAD real quick. Okay, perfect. Um, so what we have is this weekly gap, right, and a slight volume imbalance up here. So we could get all the way up here to the top of the gap. But this resistance level, right? This is something that I would like to be trading off of. We do have these equal highs set here inside of the gap. I mean, if I was to put a OTE on here, let's see what we will be looking at. Oh, Lord have mercy. Let's see. Let's see. Power tap, right? Okay. So yeah, even that OTE would be looking at we'd be looking at the 618 was right above the equal highs, and so anywhere between this range is where I'm looking short. And that'll be a hold too. And Euro Aussie, where are we at? Euro Aussie, here we go. Um, so uh, we had a divergence with pound Aussie, and um, we looked. Where did I have my? Okay, well, anyway, excuse me. What I would like to see is a move back up. here. Now we have a bunch of low resistance to run on a higher time frame. Let's see. What I would like to see ultimately is somewhere in between this range, we start to get short again, and we just start building up liquidity. Um, you know, Lord, I don't know what's going on with this mouse today. We start building up liquidity here, you know, here, we get a little fake out, and then we run it. Um, that's what I'm looking for on this week. So as we get to these levels, I'll be looking short. I don't want to trade this back into the counter trend back up. So I'm not going to do that this week. Um, and I think that's pretty much it. If USD JPY, I wanted to look at that. So or did we look at? I think we did. Yeah. But that's all I have this week. And it should be a pretty easy week, man. Just stick to your biases. Hey, if it hits stop loss, it hits stop loss. Take your losses on the chin and take your wins with your chest. And yeah, man, should be a good week. So I appreciate y'all tuning in. See y'all on the charts.